So our first item is this rather chunky sign bar, and it's a shop made. At least it appears to be shop made. I guess it could have been a manufactured one, but and it's been cleaned up. So I have a feeling that this has probably had some abuse, although. I mean, there's no pits or anything, but you can tell someone's cleaned the rust off of it and so forth. Um, I got it for next to nothing. No other bidders. Um, I could not tell how large this was in the photo, so this thing is very chunky. Uh, what do we got here? This thing is it's an inch and a quarter wide. The body is an inch high, and of course it's the standard 5-inch centers. But yeah, it's it's pretty chunky. But it's a sign bar, and I didn't have a sign bar, so now I have one. Okay. And then picked up another keyway brooch. This is a Dumont. It's a 3/16. Very handy to have. I already have a 3/16, but it's good to have a spare, in case you break one or lose one or what have you. And it was incredibly reasonably priced. I don't think there were any other bidders, so I got a heck of a deal on it. Also found this insert tool holder. It's a 1-inch shank. I know that's overkill for my little South Bend lathe, but it uses a small insert, so it's a CCMG, I'm pretty sure, like a 332, and it's a neutral rake, so that's good for a lightweight machine. And this is brand new, new old stock, or open box stock, I guess is what it was. Got a heck of a price on it. It was ridiculously low. Okay. So my plan for this, and I've never done this before, so this will be a new adventure, is to cut dovetails right into the tool holder. And I'm assuming this material is going to be pretty tough, so I'll probably have to hog out a slot with the carbide end mill, and then come in with I've got a set of Randy Richard of his dovetail cutters, and we'll just have to go slow and easy and see if we can get through this material. But yeah, that way I can just drop it right on the AXA tool holder. So that'll be an interesting project, and we'll do a video on that, and it'll be new ground for me. All right, so then our last item is a Lufkin depth mic. And comes from or the original owner was I think it's John Childress, and it's a little worse for wear, but it's still fully functional. So the price was good. I've been looking for another depth mic for quite a while, and I tell you the pricing is just ridiculous nowadays on eBay. But this one was a decent price. I think people were getting scared away because it had a number of blemishes on here, but they're all cosmetic. I mean, functionality, it's still going to work. There's a little, not really pitted, just discoloring there. So it's a 1 to 3. It still operates smoothly. I need to do some cleanup. There's a bunch of little chips and stuff here in the box. I've had it apart, so that's why that was loose. It came with the calibrating tool, adjusting tool. But here's a mystery thing. It's got this little thimble here, and I can't figure out if this belongs to this depth mic. I don't think it does, but I mean, well, it matches the finish. And this is weird. There's no threads on here. I have no idea where you would use this. It does have a ratchet. If you guys can hear that. does have a ratchet in here. So maybe they had a different cap that's now missing, that you change the cap to have one with the ratchet. Yeah, so I don't know. If anybody knows, please let me know in the comments, because I'm baffled as to what that's for. Okay. All right. But anyways, it's there's the gentleman's name, John Childress. So most likely he's no longer with us. If you are, John, and you're watching, thank you very much. Okay. Okay, well that's it for the eBay finds. Let me show you these clips, and then we'll come back after those. Holidays in there. We got another 2,000. Just to clean up. Oh yeah. We're giving the oil can collection a little bit of love today, cleaning them, refilling, redoing the labels. This one here, though, is going to take a little more love. It was completely full of dark sulfur cutting oil and probably forgotten about for many, many years. It was completely hardened up. The pump was about 3 times that size, just a big glob of hardened up oil all over it. So I filled it with solvent, put it out in the sun for about 3 hours, and it's coming out pretty good. I'm going to do it one more time. We're going to refill it with solvent and then just let it soak. I'm going to put it in a spot outside where it's in the sun so that it can just cook for a few days. All right, but these are all looking good. And there's the other one that we just cleaned up. That one, the chrome was completely peeled off, or not completely, but peeling off. So I completely finished removing the chrome and gave it Scotch-Brite and then just a clear coat. I kind of like the way it looks, so rather than painting it. Alright, we're going to do a little fly cutting. This is our first time using this fly cutter. So what we have is this is a fence that goes on it's a Hitachi miter saw, you know, a wood miter saw, an old one. It's like 35 years old. So this fence is no longer flat. So I've got it set up here. We've got some, sorry about the lighting, we've got some 1, 2, 3 blocks bolted together. Come to this side, might be easier to see. There we go. So got some 1, 2, 3 blocks bolted together. Those are clamped down. We've got a bolt through the back of the fence into the 1, 2, 3 block. And then we got a couple of homemade machinist jacks here kind of supporting the front. We've checked our back edge here with a square to make sure we're square to the table. So this fence is out. The center area here is dished down, is low, and then the top part of the fence here is also high. So we're going to be truing it up in 2 directions. Okay guys, there's the finished product. So did a little deburring and cleaned the oil off, hit it with a little bit of Scotch-Brite. So yeah, I think it looks great. So just got to put it back on the saw now. It's interesting how they made this. It's like a die casting. There's the fence back on the saw. Squared it up with a square off the blade. So she's ready for the next project. Doing a little rearranging here. So originally I had a big bench mounted drill press that filled up this whole pocket. And I've had this little one here, and it was centered in the opening here. So in an effort to get a little more usable bench space, you can see I'm moving it over to the corner and forward. And I don't know what happened, so the other lag screw has completely disappeared. Jeez, how does that happen? I just took it out a couple hours ago, and it's nowhere to be found. And I don't think it's underneath. I looked. I'm going to have to look again. Luckily, I had another lag screw in stock. No idea what happened to the original. It'll probably show up any minute now. I've had this piece of stainless for quite a while, and it's been stored outside. So the protective film is not coming off easily, so I've had to resort to the heat gun to warm it up on the reverse side. And we're getting there, just taking time. Finally got it all peeled. Okay, note to self, if you're going to store stainless material in an unprotected area, go ahead and peel it before you store it. Well, there it is in place. And so all these funny cuts are because I'm repurposing this sheet metal that I had laying around. I believe this is 20 gauge. Of course, this is stainless. And then I'm patching a piece in here to fill in the old spot here. I put the stainless under the drill press because it's got a lot harder surface, and you know, for sliding the vise around, less likely to gouge and dig in. All right, so I've got Joe Pye's video running out here, and he was just showing his American Rotary magic marker. And I've been using mine out here for the layout, so it's really funny that he just happened to show that while I was out here doing this. Okay, it's all fastened down. I still have the rest of the bench accessories to put back in place. So this is the last time you'll ever see it in this condition. So I'm going to try to wait about a day before beating on it. Is this vise too big for this little drill press? My idea, guys, was to have a place where I could keep this big vise on the bench just for general work holding, but also have the option of using it with this little drill press. So I do really like this little drill press. I mean, it's nothing precision, but it sure is handy having it right here on the bench, just for, you know, spot drilling, pilot holes, small items, and so forth. It's just really handy to have it here. Okay, so there's the little drill press now. It's not beat up too bad yet. Like I say, I've been so busy, I haven't had much time to be out here in the shop. But we rearranged our little back shelf here a bit. I had these Hewitt boxes stashed away. So I got those out, cleaned them up, and then I had these other boxes that were not being utilized because I couldn't get to them. I had a computer, you know, a regular tower type computer sitting up on here, and I finally decided that I wasn't really using that computer and I needed the space, so that's what prompted the little rearranging job. Yeah, so our drill press moved down that way about 3 inches and out about 3 inches also, so got a little more bench space here. So hey, thanks everyone for stopping by. Apologies, it's been a busy spring, just haven't had much time to work on videos. Now we are going to the summer bash, so hopefully we'll see some of you there. And then also stick around, I got a little mystery item to look at the end here. Okay, thanks again, guys. Okay guys, I have one more item here. So I know Mr. Pete is the mystery tool guy, but I came across this little thing and I'm going to throw it out there to see if anybody can figure out what it is. Um, so it's threaded on the internal. We've got 4 cross holes and these little T-handle screws. They're all interchangeable, so you can put them in any of the 4 holes. They just have a rounded point on them. That says precise. I covered up the next word. Okay, and I covered up the patent number. I had to look up the patent number to see what it was. I had a suspicion I was kind of close, but not very close. Okay, dimensions. This thing, the outer dimension is approximately 1 inch. The internal dimension is, well, let's go here. It's about 13/16. Okay, and thickness about 1/2 inch. And I did check the thread pitch. It is a metric. It's a 1.5. Okay, I'll give you that. All right. So, anyways, if you think you know what it is, throw it in the comments, and then I'll either respond in the comments in a couple of weeks, or if we get another video out, I'll show it in the next video. Okay. All right.